Hey everyone, welcome to today's video in which we're going to test a real completely wireless 15-inch monitor, the UFREE V by UPERFECT. And here wireless really means it can be used without any cables whatsoever, since it also includes an integrated battery and an optional wireless connection. But is it any good? What are possible flaws? What are the cons? Well, let's find out. But first, let's have a look at what's included in the package on delivery. There's of course the UPERFECT UFREE V wireless monitor, two USB-C cables, one of them is for the included small 20-watt USB-C charger with a surprisingly good length of 180 centimeters, and the other one for connecting a device with 120 centimeters and a mini HDMI to HDMI cable with a length of effectively 95 centimeters. A simple fake leather kind of transportation or protection bag, and UPERFECT actually includes this little foldable wireless Bluetooth keyboard, including a touchpad, which you could of course, for example, use when you connect the monitor via phone or a tablet. While it isn't the most comfortable keyboard around and it surely takes some time getting used to with its variously sized keys, it's a nice to have for some scenarios. But we're not here to review a keyboard. Now, the UFREE V is a completely wireless monitor with a matte 15.6-inch Full HD 16:9 60Hz IPS screen and a built-in 8000 mAh battery. It has a density of 141 pixels per inch, a super low weight of only 767 grams without charger or cables, so it's also super portable, and it measures only 5.5 millimeters at the top and around 12 millimeters at the bottom where the battery sits. The build quality seems sufficient. The chassis seems to be covered in some aluminum alloy at the back, and there's also a small plastic bezel around the screen at the front. Though the stiffness of the chassis could be a bit better, especially at the upper end. Oh, and as always with UPERFECT monitors, there is no logo here whatsoever. And I really think they should start printing logos on their stuff. It comes with an integrated kickstand at the back that also allows us to use the monitor vertically, while it also has an auto rotate function and a 75mm VESA mount, so that is nice. Connection-wise, we're getting two USB-C ports for either charging or connecting a device, an HDMI mini port and a 3.5mm audio jack, while it also includes two integrated 1-watt speakers that of course sound pretty flat and won't get loud at all, but better having them in case of need. For the color accuracy, my Spider X Pro measured 80% sRGB, 62% for Adobe RGB, 62% for the P3 color space and 60% for NTSC. And for the brightness, I got up to a solid 351 nits, which is absolutely great for indoor usage, but outside you would really need a shady spot, and I measured a mediocre contrast of 1120 to 1. I didn't get any noticeable backlight bleeding, by the way. According to UPERFECT, the response time is pretty high with 30 milliseconds, meaning this isn't exactly great for gaming or fast movement. And before you ask, there is no adaptive sync and it doesn't have a touch function. And for whatever reason, my monitor's OSD menu had an HDR option and I was able to use that, and Windows recognized it, though I didn't find anything about that on the UPERFECT website, so to be honest, I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be there and if it's working correctly. However, seeing the calibrated results, I'd say you wouldn't want to use it anyway. Especially when used wireless, this monitor is mainly for presentations and maybe watching a movie here and there, or connecting mobile devices like smartphones, tablets or laptops to use some Android desktop mode or stuff like that. It's not for content creating or gaming in the first place. Again, especially while used wireless. You could probably give this to a customer on a presentation so they have their own monitor right in front of them. For the battery, I ran several tests at different brightness levels, displaying different content and placing the monitor directly next to the laptop I used for the test and also placing it around 5 meters away. The result has always been more or less the same, with a battery runtime of 4 hours and around 10 to 15 minutes. Charging the battery from around 0% to 100% takes quite long, with around 2 hours. The OSD menu itself is okay, self-explanatory and all. plenty of options, but the input via the 4 hidden buttons at the side is quite annoying. You really have to memorize the function of each button, and then you'll forget everything until you need it again a few weeks later. Now, connecting the UFREE V to a PC or laptop via Wi-Fi is quite easy using Windows, for example. Just hit the Windows key plus K, and if you turn on the monitor via the power button, you will be able to select it in the following menu, and voila, it's connected. For Android, you're doing that via the quick options using Miracast, for example. Also, it's pretty straightforward and worked without issues. The website claims you don't need Wi-Fi, but once you turn that off, connecting it via a laptop didn't work. And maybe what they meant is you don't need a Wi-Fi network, as this is using Wi-Fi Direct to connect to the device of your choice. The maximum distance for that connection to work is around 8 to 12 meters with free sight. And I was also testing that with having the source in the room next door, which worked as well. But don't expect too much distance-wise, and the further away, the more stuttering occurred. Once the source device of your choice is connected via the wireless function instead of a cable, the image quality is definitely a bit inferior. This is especially noticeable with moving content like videos or games, and here you can see the difference between a cable and a wireless connection. There are a lot of artifacts and compression going on, stuff you won't see via a cable connection. Here you can see it in direct comparison with another non-OLED IPS laptop display. Also, what's important to know is that the wireless connection is comparable to streaming. That means there is additional input lag. And in the case of the UPERFECT UFREE V, this input lag is pretty massive and would make gaming basically impossible. And here I try to show you in the video footage that the latency is huge. Also, in some cases, the stream is stuttering, like for example when I used my Lenovo Idea Tab 11. Also, if connected wireless, streaming services like Netflix and the Disney Plus, etc. won't work due to digital right management protection. You'll just get a black screen here, while YouTube is working as intended, if you're okay with a slightly stuttering stream. But to be clear, if it's connected, gaming and watching streaming services is working perfectly fine. But you can of course use a streaming stick like Roku, though for some of them, like Google Chromecast, you would need a mini HDMI to HDMI adapter. Overall, this is an interesting device, a real wireless monitor, which can of course be used with cables as well. So it's quite versatile if you have any needs for such a device. It's super mobile. In general, the image quality is okay, though you cannot use it for gaming content or paid streaming services wirelessly. Also, I think the price seems fair, especially with discount codes, which brings us to the next chapter. Which is, if you're interested in getting the UPERFECT UFREE V for yourself, you can use the affiliate link in the video's description or the comment section and use my code Hubwood30 for a $30 discount, and I'll get a small percentage of the transaction while it's actually cheaper for you. Right now, the regular price is $189 with shipping, but with that code, it's $159 only, including shipping, the protection bag, and the wireless keyboard and touchpad. Also important, UPERFECT is paying for any custom duties that might appear. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more laptop, mobile, handheld and mini PC stuff in the future. Thanks for watching until the very end. See you next time. Bye bye and tschüss.